Welcome back to the No Punt Intended podcast. This is week 6. We are back. We're a bit late. Sorry, we're a little bit late. Dad's birthday. Trying to, wrap up people there. People still here, so if I have to leave for a second and say goodbye, I might have to do that. But the boys will carry on. We got mine and Dan's shit teams to look at. A bit of sports deck. Obviously the spreads and whatnot this week. Then we might talk a bit of NBA futures at the end. That kicks off this week, so we'll get to that. But we'll go around the room. Bex, how you going, mate? You going all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Had a good week. Followed some of the big horse racing over the weekend and made some more money. NFL stuff not quite as good. It went over 3 again on the Lions.
We'll get to that.
And but some other stuff that might be going a little bit better than that.
Bam, you all started up, mate. You got some stuff for us this week?
Yeah, you got a stuff this week. NFL was a bit hit and miss. I think the picks went 1 and 2. The rest of the stuff not too bad.
Is that a Giants top?
Shining light.
I was going to say, it's the Giants t-shirt.
Talk about getting on the
boys.
He bleeds blue.
I bleed blue.
This is the most sickening thing I've ever seen. You are just pathetic. Oh.
The man just loves jumping on your guys' teams.
Nah,
That's what I'm
I'll buy anything.
Team yet, really, has
I've
he?
got Raiders. I've got New York, and I think I've got Packers as well. So I've got all 3.
New York.
They're all just from Cotton On, aren't they?
Yeah, I reckon they are. Yeah, I knew it. It's just a bomb.
Tom, yesterday wasn't a great
Strip
day
out,
for me
mate.
and
How can
yourself.
you call Tom's tips and just get absolutely stripped out like that? So I got like $500 worth of bonus bets though with the bet up.
Oh yeah, then you better.
If gold, if Gold Trip had won, I would have been right. But hey, that's how these things go. So look, you're either hot or you're due. So I'm waiting for Wednesday, Geelong Cup Day, and I'll be back. So lucky I didn't do a TikTok this week. I didn't do a TikTok this week, thank God. So not that they've been good anyway, but there'll be one on Friday.
Yeah, good. The Sylv, how are you, mate?
Oh yeah, good boys, good. Yeah, it's a bit stiff on the horses, especially when the whole house loaded up on the old nature strip, and we watch it we lose to fucking Giga Kick. So, you're either hot or you're Jack Eldred cold. So it's one or the other. With that right there, the old curse passing on throughout the house.
And then he had $20 on it anyway.
And then $20 on Giga Kick, and the
he
curse
didn't
went to
even
Scott. So, you're either a genius or an idiot. So one or the other.
All right, let's get quickly to sports deck. I know only 4 of us care about that at this stage, but we'll talk about it. Decent week for myself. I think it was a high-scoring week for a lot of people, though, which we'll get to. So I scored 589 and moved up another 140 spots. But, as I should, I haven't been going that well this year, which I think all you boys have joined the group now. What are we? Dan had a big week. 667 in the end? Huge. Woo! So that's jumped you up a bit. What did you have? You had, let's go this way. Josh Allen. You got Paddy in, which is good as well. He was the next best QB that week. Kelsey, of course, everyone has. Brees on field was a big one. A lot of people might have had him on the bench, so having him on the field was good. You've got Cup and Adams as well, so I think you jumped off JJ, didn't you? So that might regret that, but you got to have to look at the buys here. But that makes you, at least you don't have all 3, so you can still maybe get JJ back if you need to after his buy. What else are you thinking, mate? Anything?
But again, Devontae is one of those where he's got the buy and then possibly suspended. So I might have to jump off him early with one of the wide receivers that have a later buy. Like I'm thinking Mike Evans. I just think, that's just probably just safer. I was looking at Tyreek, but that QB situation is a bit of a roulette at the moment. So I was thinking Mike Evans, bringing him in for Devontae now. And also, I'm a bit sort of strapped on my bench at wide receiver with MT and possibly, I think, Olave. Did he pass concussion test? I'm not sure.
No, they're both out.
So. Oh, they are? Okay, so there you go. So I'll probably have to do that to bring in Evans for Devontae. At least then I can have a full sort of fielded team there. It's a bit annoying, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. I'll have to deal with that as well. Who we got next? Bex. Decent week, similar to me. So
Dan's pipped me.
Yep. Couple of points.
Yeah, I fielded JK over Pierce last week, which hurt. But yeah, other than that, it was a fairly solid week. I think, like Dan, I got Olavi and MT as
Yeah.
issues. So I'm tossing up whether to just field Drake London, who I think will probably score pretty poorly against San Fran and lose money, or trade him up. But there isn't really anyone I want. Like I already got Reek. I don't even want him.
Want him.
There's just so few options at wide receiver at the moment that don't have the bye next week. Like every relevant one has the bye next week. So yeah, and then I did
Jump on the Mike
Mariota
Evans,
to
mate.
Kenny.
He's got a late buy.
quite
That's the
afford him.
only person I could think of.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can quite afford him from London. But I'll see.
Oh, okay, you're that far.
I think I only have like 10. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Lamar, which a lot of people have. Yeah, it's still an okay score, but a bit of a downish week.
Trading up to him has not gone well.
We'll go to Scotty next. Again, just a solid week, like a lot of people. Pretty similar team again. Oh, you got Herbert like me, so are we keeping him,
Niners
Scotty, or
defense.
are we ditching him at some stage?
I might keep him. I've only got the $0 in the bank because I got the JA and I haven't traded since. So got to go down if I'm going somewhere. So it all depends on that stuff. But I'm looking at maybe getting. I think Bateman's been injured, so I haven't traded him yet. I think I had him on the bench. So if we have to trade him down to somewhere.
Oh, what's this bench, Scotty?
Dodson.
Dodson.
Dodson, MT, Bateman.
Oh, you're done.
No.
Oh, goodbye,
You've
sir.
You've got JT. He's out this week again.
It's good to see.
Yeah, JT out again. I'm glad I traded him, although Jobbins wasn't great, but still glad I got the money out of him. I think for me, Scotty, with I'll get the team up with Herbert.
JT to Eckler straight away, Scotty, surely.
Maybe.
Oh, I really want Hurts, I think, but he has the same buy as Allen, so I think once his buy's done, I will get him for Herbert. But maybe Herbert turns around. Who knows? He's playing through the injury. I doubled up. I got Chase in, and it didn't go well week one. So kind of hoping the Bengals can turn the form around, and they have a late buy as well. But T's still questionable, so maybe T has to go, and I'd keep Chase.
Yeah.
So and same thing with Olave, Thomas. Bit of a
you had Colts defense on the bench.
Yeah, mate. They've done. Look at this.
They've been shit out the whole time.
And then they scored 28
the one
against.
time.
Man,
that's a
funny.
killer.
How funny.
At least you didn't trade them. They'll go back up in cash now.
Yeah, still. Defense. It's just a shit show, isn't it? Yeah. Look, I've already done one trade. I actually can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the obvious.
Yeah, that's a simple one.
So,
I think everyone's done that.
Yeah. If you're not doing that, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I'll have to figure out what the hell I'm going to do though. I might have to trade T, wait and see if he's playing, and then maybe put the funds on someone. Maybe I can just put the funds on London. He doesn't look too great just because it's Mariota and the offense.
Yeah,
and maybe just
passing.
Yeah, maybe just trying. I don't know. I don't much. Again, I've got a little bit of cash to work with, but do I want to spend it all on that? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. But I guess we can move on. That's enough sports deck for now. We'll look at last week's Goats League. So Bex dealt with Dicko pretty handily. He's upset about that. He really wanted to be
4-0, no more. He is done.
In round 5, he was taking it as the grand final. He's early grand final, and he's a bit flat about it, but it wasn't too close in the end.
Nah, he had Cooper Rush at QB, put up less than 2. He had Waller. He did the hammy. This was a bit of a whitewash. I had Broncos, which sort of covered Ryan being trash. And yeah, it was fairly safe most of the way through.
Easy. Yeah. Dan put up some points actually this week, but still wasn't enough.
No, obviously not. My team's as useless as Bexley going shopping for hair products. Like, it's just pointless, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's no need for it. There's no use for this team at all. Even, what did I say? Everyone plays their best against me. He had Fournette and Gabe Davis, who went ballistic. Like, come on. Damien Pierce was good as well, and Marquis,
Lenny's understandable, but not.
Yeah, Lenny. Gabe Davis had 4 catches for 2 touchdowns and 109 yards or something. Whatever. I can't deal with that. But
are you averaging over 100 yet?
Yeah, probably after the 125 I am, but who knows? Like, I'm legit. I'm just praying, but my season's well and truly done. So, oh well.
Stowers, Tommy, got you in the end.
Yeah, bit of
On the
a
right
bit of a
field.
bad stretch, 2 L's in a row. So look, in the end, having to field Conklin, he was absolutely garbage because Knox was out for the game, and then like Jamal and Dobbins going for 9 as my two RBs sucked. Sort of interesting, and we'll talk about, I guess, actually in the next thing of whether I actually field Wilson over T-Law, because T-Law's been absolutely trash for the last 2 weeks as well. So yeah, pretty bad week. I definitely need to get a win this coming week.
And the Bills got the Chiefs, so big game.
Just all I
Big
need
game
is
for your
points.
team.
Exactly.
It's
Every week,
big total. So
every week's a big game for the Bills in my team.
and me and Scotty played, and again, pretty easy win for Scotty. Oh, it was a sneaky chance early, but then donut from T, donut from Schultz, and that was a wrap. And then Hines, got carried pretty early.
And Goff.
Goff being Goff, he's back to that. Yep, after his couple really, really good weeks. So, they put up a donut, and basically so did he. So, no, you're going well, Scotty. Sitting nicely. Not much else to say, really. Cup, and Andrews.
I think the early ones are picked, so Cup and Hurts have worked out so far.
Yeah,
which is
they're
good.
just getting you 25 a week. Like, it's just
Yeah.
easy, guaranteed. Yeah. So the standings, if they come up.
The name is just telling it like it is. The King of the Hill.
Yeah, it's
It
looking
hasn't
like a
changed on my screen, but I think it should be up, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's
up.
up.
Yep. So yeah, that's the way it looks. Bex and Scotty going all right. Tom in the middle, and me and Dan just don't really want to talk about it. This week, there you go. Changed for me finally. Tom's got. We'd all done it. None of us have each other. So in the old 12-man league, so it used to be 10. We used to pretty much always someone be playing, but now we may not. But Tom's got Dicko. So
my flex, the
pretty low
the DJ
projected for you
Dallas.
two, both being decent teams.
DJ Carlin.
I'm really struggling on the running back side of things. So, my team. I don't know. I essentially just need the Bills just to go put up against 40 against the Chiefs. That's pretty much what I'm hoping for this week. Yeah, it'll be interesting, and then whether I go with Wilson or T-Law. So I think I will go T-Law against Indy, because it's going to be pretty tough for the Jets against the Packers. So I reckon I'll stick with that. But the fact that that's actually a decision is interesting.
Taylor would have scored all right the first time they played, wouldn't he? In week 2 or whatever. So
no, he was good. So that's why I'm pretty happy to go with him another week. But he scored, I think, 15 points in 2 weeks combined, which is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. This one's close, Bex, according to the projections at least.
Yeah, I think Wayne's got a pretty good team. I've got Derrick Henry out on bye, so put Ryan Robinson in for his first game on the team, and he didn't do a whole lot. The efficiency was pretty disgusting.
The
but
many men.
for a
How good
TD.
was that?
How sick was it?
That was elite.
Yeah, that's good. And then just Curtis Samuel, he's been great for me so far this year. Put up his first stinker, dropped the 40-yard touchdown straight through his hands, which cost me. But should be a close game. He's got a lot of good players. He's got Evans, who should rip up the Steelers. Kelsey was enormous last week. CMC is obviously one of the top players, so should be a good week.
He could explode. Yeah.
I
I
think
got
he's-
my man, the Eno. Yeah. Man.
So obviously with Connor out and Williams out, he's going to be the main
pretty
man.
much
And
him.
it's a good matchup versus Seattle as well. So I'm hoping he can go big. I benched Drake London and Garrett Wilson for him.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I would. You want to force him into the lineup, I would say, if you had him. Look, Jules probably not going to change his super flex, so he's got a donut already there.
He hasn't looked
we said this. The man just gets to 1 month and he doesn't look. I think it's getting earlier every year. Like it's 6 weeks. Last year's 5 weeks. This year I think it's 3 weeks, and he hasn't looked. So
he's been a bit unlucky. He copped Trey Lance and Javonte Williams injuries,
True,
season-ending injuries from top picks.
that's enough to get you disinterested.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
look, we'll see. I might have to pick up. Well, I will. I'm probably going to pick up. I don't know, Skylar Thompson. Throw him in the super flex. Why not? Olave's out. And T, I don't even know. Maybe T could be out. I could be in the.
Yeah, I
the
benched him
mud
one of
here.
my other leagues. I think he's
Yeah, he's
very,
dealing with
very
something.
questionable.
Even if he did play, like it might be like it was last
Yes,
week anyway,
same as-
and an absolute nothing.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. At least Henderson's got a full workload this week, which should go all right. So look, who really
Yeah.
cares about my team?
You've gone all in on Hendo.
No one.
Exactly. And probably say the same about you, Dan. Because yeah, I mean,
Skip
you've got
through
Keenan Allen
these.
in the lineup, and you don't have a defense. Why'd you send the screenshot?
I'm experimenting, mate. I'm just rolling the dice. I don't know. I have no idea.
That team's
We're not looking, are we?
disgusting.
We're not looking. We
Yeah,
don't
Nah,
know.
skip through that. That's
Keep
disgusting.
going, mate. Keep going.
Yeah.
If you look at it, if you look at his defense last week, it had negative points, so he's already
Yeah, true.
ahead
So
on
it's
that.
better off
Yeah.
not playing.
Probably worth it. Yeah.
All right, Scotty. Yeah, talk us through it, mate. How are you gonna get the W?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close. I had a pretty rubbish start. I think Wentz fractured his
Oh
finger,
yeah.
so he was no good. And then Justin Fields had
Good.
one of his first good games. So I think it's 51% in my favor, 49%. So it's going to be pretty close. I think Cut was questionable during the week, but I think he's saying he is playing, so that should be good. But no, it should be a pretty close one. So I'm probably going to lean on Hurts to go big against Cowboys, and then Cup to go big against the Panthers. So
I hope Zeke
there
costs
we go.
you. I hope he costs you another win. I hope that man
That was
just
heavy.
goes backwards.
All right, let's look at last week's picks. Not that we really want to. Well, I do. I mean, Tom's gone. 2-1 for me, and I said I was going to go the Cowboys instead of the Eagles, and I bitched it, and they won easily, won outright.
Mate, yeah,
And I could have gone 3-0 and actually have the best record if I stuck to it. But look, if I have the best record, and I'm tied now with it, that says something about us because we are going horrendously.
There's a lot of red on that board.
No, if you like if you look at my picks for last week, right? Like I had the Dolphins minus 3.5, and they lost by 23. I had the Lions plus 3.5. They lost by 29. And then the Jags got done by how much? How much was the
Wasn't
Jags
it?
game?
No,
Yeah,
just
it
a
was a
touchdown.
couple.
No,
They
they
turned
lost.
to
Yeah,
six.
those two. Yeah, they scored 6
Yeah.
points total.
Yeah.
So how the hell could they ever cover 6.5? So they scored. That was absolutely a putrid week. It's probably the worst week anyone's going to have of picks right there.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. They all played that bad that they barely scored the bloody line that they.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. Two of them
Yeah,
basically
no,
didn't.
exactly. No, they were. If you
What the
if
hell?
you applied the line, they scored. That was 0 point. They were negative half point. If you apply the line against what their total was, so pathetic.
Look, the Chargers got me across the line just again. To be honest, I think that line's wrong, right? It was like 1.5. I didn't forgot to change it, but they're sneaking across, and I'm just going to stick to them again this week. You'll see. But to be honest, I'm not even confident in them. But they're doing me a job, so I got to stick with them. Dan, surely the unders are gone by now. You're not touching them anymore.
Yeah, that was a roll of the dice
Come on.
that'll never get rolled
Come
again.
on.
So
We said not to. We said not to.
It was the Giants against the Packers. Like I thought, here we go.
And the problem is, we
Yeah.
pick a lot of it. Like we all go, yeah, the Dolphins. Someone goes a lock. A lot of someone else picks it. The Eagles, 3 of us picked it. The Jag, and then they lose, and then we're all stuffed. So
But then it
maybe we
works
should
when we all
start-
pick the Bills.
yeah, but it never
9.5.
worked. It hasn't worked.
worked.
So maybe we should
Live
blind
and
do
die by
these
the
and not
sword.
even put them in the dock and actually just come with it, or send them to me secretly or something. Because I don't know.
I want to know who's copying others because I just put mine in and then.
Yeah, I
not
know.
looking at
I'm not saying people are copying, to be honest, but we do seem to double up a bit.
Yeah.
Double up on
There's
a
a
few.
lot
I think
of the
this
Doubling
week
up
we
when we're all
definitely
shit is not a good idea. So
did.
let's get to this week's lines. So finally doing this graphic, I didn't have to change too much. The top left of the game that's already been from last week. I just had to change that 9 to a 7 and the teams because that was the same score basically.
That was
How
pathetic,
terrible
those
these
games.
games have been. And then a couple of these lines are moved. Like the big ones, I think they were like 10 and now they're 9. I mean, not by much, but a couple of them
Yeah.
moved across the last day or so. But there's some bigger ones this week, so we'll see if anyone's taken a few bigger lines. I don't think much sticks out to me here.
I've taken the two
Taken some big
9.5
ones. Yeah,
games.
actually, you have, haven't you?
Yep.
Instantly,
Yeah,
I think that.
Yeah, the one thing
I
that
think-
sticks out to me is the Chiefs are at home and they're not the
That's
favorite.
right. Yeah.
That's-
First time ever,
yeah.
right? Well, in Paddy
Yeah.
Mahomes'
Well,
tenure.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So
that's nuts. But that should be an amazing game if it lives up to
lives
a
up.
quarter of what that other
Give me
playoffs
the
game
unders.
was. It'll still be amazing.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
wonder why
I do
it's-
think I do like the unders for that. I didn't touch
You-
it because it's Paddy and Allen, but I do like the unders for that.
you wonder why it's on, like the second window with a couple other games on, like how it doesn't get to
Yeah.
the prime time. But
Flex
anyway,
it's a prime time.
I know.
NFL
But,
bozos.
I know. I think every team has to get one along the
Cowboys and
season
Eagles
or
actually be
something,
all
but-
right.
That'll be
a
right.
good game.
And look,
Yeah,
that's
that'll be a good
always
game.
going to be prime time. It's two
Yeah.
massive teams, and it's going to get
Actually
the
be a
most
good game.
viewership. But yeah, it could be. Yeah, I mean, I told it, mate. The NFC Beast is
But-
back, mate.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, besides the Commanders, I mean, they just got a dub, so they'll take it. But they're the worst.
the G-men.
They're the worst. And there's a few teams on bye as well. But let's get into Scotty's stat if I can.
It's time for
Scotty's.
Presented by No One.
Alrighty. The start I've got for this week, as we've got teams coming back from Europe, is the only 7 times in NFL history has a team returned back from home in Europe without a bye week. So every one of those teams, I think there's 7 so far, has tied or is trailing in the following week. So with the opponent's team totals going 6-1 to the over. So pretty much what it's saying is without that bye week, teams coming back a bit lethargic, starting slow, and it kind of favors the teams they're playing against. So we've obviously got this week, we've got the Jets versus the Packers. I think the line's, from memory, 7.5. And then Ravens is maybe, I think they're 6.5
6.
faves. Yeah. So you can look at those, but a main thing I'd be looking at this week is opponent's team totals going over. So teams starting off really well. They might have to catch up to them and things, but I think they'll start off really well. The offenses look really good early. So Packers defenses looked pretty average as well, especially last week. And then we got the Giants as well. So I'd be looking at maybe the Jets and the Ravens to start off really well, get the points on the board. And this has been something that's been occurring I think it's this last 7 times, because I think 92% they've had a bye week. I think there's only 7 teams in the history who haven't. So I'd be looking at those teams to start off really well, and the other teams to be a bit slower out of the gates.
It's gone to prop.
Yeah. I'd trust probably the Ravens more to go over their total.
Yeah,
than the Jets. But the Jets have
one's
been playing
18.
all right.
Yeah.
They've been playing all
Yeah,
right.
they've been
Look,
putting points. I don't mind it.
Like even with the QB situation that the Finns had, the Jets still put up 40 on their defense.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
The
yeah,
Packers
I mean, the
defense
Packers
hasn't been that
defense
good.
is meant to be good on paper. They haven't played probably up to the
Nah, they haven't
potential,
even
but
close.
who knows? Yeah, I don't mind it.
The
all right,
Lockster
let's
likes
see.
it as well. You got a fan, Scotty.
There we go. Thank you.
There you
Lachlan.
go. Good, Scott. No one's ever said that. All right, we'll start with the picks.
No.
Going back to the Jags, I know they've been terrible the last 2 weeks, and at least the Colts are just as bad, if not worse, over the whole course of the season. So to get a 1.5 here, they beat them the first time. We'll take it. Yes, it's away this time, but I don't know. I just think the Colts are terrible. Well, I obviously didn't think that heading into the season, but watching them, there's no way you can think anything but. So sticking with the Jags to turn it around. I know they've been sort of sliding the last couple of weeks, but getting the Colts here, they should be confident they can get back on the winners list, and we'll take the little points that we get. Bex, I don't know if you got anything else to add.
Yeah, I
On
mean,
the
the Colts
Jags.
are the worst offense in the league at the moment. They're just terrible. They've got offensive line issues. They've got Matty Ice issues. They've got JT out. So they're just struggling to put points on the board. And even with the Jags issues, like T-Law, just really silly mistakes, like just basic he fumbled a lot, couple of really silly turnovers. Like in the Texans game, they dominated a lot of that game and just blew it with really silly mistakes, like in the red zone. So I don't think that was quite as bad as what it was. And then they've both got good defenses. The Jags have like a top 5 defense in terms of points conceded for the year. So I think this will be fairly low scoring, and I'm hoping the Jags can get up.
Make it. Yeah. Tom, the Steelers, mate.
Yeah, no, I reckon this is one of those great ones where a team gets pumped the week before, and you can sort of jump on a line that might be a little bit too high. So, yeah, obviously Steelers lost by 35 last week. This is the largest underdog they've been at home in the last 40 years. And in the last 20 years as home underdogs, they're actually 17-4-3 against the spread. So I think the change from Pickett to Mitch, so Pickett over Mitch is actually huge. Mitch has been an absolute train wreck all year, so I think that'll help. And interestingly, there's a good stat here. with Brady is that he's only 16 and 15 against the spread. So he's only just over even when he's a fave of 8+ points on the road. So out of all the stats that he has where he's the GOAT, this is the one where he actually doesn't excel that much. Bucks haven't been that good on offense. So I'm pretty happy to believe that the Bucks will probably win, but I can't see them winning over 10. And teams that have lost by 35+ the week before, actually 63% against the spread the week after. So as I said, it usually gets bumped up a little bit too high. So it is a risk taking the Steelers, obviously, but pretty happy to take the 9.5 here.
The Chiefs, Dan, I just couldn't touch this game looking at it. I know you've gone there probably a bit of heart. Points for Patty at home. Is that all it is?
A little bit of heart, but also a little bit of stat. Patrick Mahomes has never lost as an underdog. Putting that out there. So 2.5, I think is pretty it is. It's more than a field goal, which is annoying. I would have loved 3.5.
Yeah.
But I just think for some reason Patrick Mahomes has Josh Allen's number. He just always just turns up at the right moment. I just think at home, at Arrowhead. They've been just so, I want to say consistent. Like their defense will leak it, but if you have Patrick Mahomes on that other side, you're going to put up points as well. So I think Chiefs. I would love to see. I think Chiefs win this outright, but I'm going to take the spread based on that stat that he's never lost as an underdog. But this will be a ripper of a game.
Yeah. Hoping it lives up in the Browns, Scotty.
Yeah, I reckon the Browns are actually good value. So I think there'll be an overreaction to the Pats game last week, obviously against the Lions, smashed them, but I think the Lions are last week they're pretty sorry, pretty crap. So yeah, in terms of looking at the Cleveland team, the offense has been rolling, the rush offense. So I think they're number 4 rated offense in total, and then they've got the number 1 rush. So Chubb, who was on for any time TD last week, is absolutely killing it. Probably the best running back in the league. They're versing a 28th pass defense. I think Brissett's been sacked the fewest as a quarterback. And then if we look on the other side, you've got Zappi, I think, is playing again, I believe. I think Jones got ruled out. It was unlikely. So he's going to be playing again. I just believe that the Browns' defense is also going to get better. I think Garrett's slowly coming back from the hurricane, but if he gets any pressure on an inexperienced quarterback, they might be in trouble as well. Then the other stat I have is teams that have lost back-to-back home games at home and are short home favourites, so just 2.5, have fared well, and they've covered 63% of the time. So I'm backing that in. I just think the Browns are going to be much better this week.
Yep, fair enough.
Hey,
I'm going with the big line here. I'm with Tom here on the Rams. Look, it's hard to bet the Rams. They've been terrible. We all know that. But this has got to be the game. This has got to be the game they finally get into gear. And to be honest, I don't think it'll be that well. Like, I don't think they'll absolutely smash this line. I think they'll probably barely just cover it. But I still think they will. The Panthers are horrendous. What is it? PJ Walker this week.
Yep.
And to be fair, you could argue that's probably an upgrade on Baker at the moment, given how bad he's going. But I just think the Rams have to find their mojo at home this week. I think they can cover this, even though it is a fairly big line. Tom, have you got anything else to add?
I agree. No, I pretty much agree with everything you said. Like, obviously, I think sometimes when the coach gets fired, some people like to sort of go on the opposite side and take the Panthers there. So I reckon this line really should be like -11 or something like that, minus 12. I know, as you said, the Rams have been pretty ordinary, but come on, just take the team that actually has a clue what they're doing. Absolute fire sale coming out of Carolina. So, who knows, this could be CMC's last game or last few games. So what's the motivation going to be? So, yeah, I reckon this team's going to get pummeled week in, week out. I'm still going to claim that I got the Panthers for their one cover of the spread in like their last 20 games. and I made it a lock. So that's actually going to be one of the best tips of the year.
That's incredible.
This team
is
absolutely garbage. So the fact I could get that one, and then they haven't covered since.
That still makes
one
me
of
sick.
their last 19 games that they've actually covered.
Was it Bex against it that week?
Yeah, just
Bex against
watching
the
that game, the Kamara fumble run in for a Panthers defense TD just gives me nightmares.
Yeah, they are horrific.
Scotty and Dan here, same wavelengths on the Jets. Who's up? Who's going?
Yeah, shut it, Scott. I think this is a bit sort of blown out. The Packers, like we were talking about, the Packers defense has been actually I think one of the worst this year, and the Jets have been really, really solid. And I got not much else to say about this. I think the Packers offense ain't clicking as they used to. To give up a 14-point lead against the Giants, not saying like, we're amazing, but
Well, you
it
could
is
say the
Giants.
Jets are better, probably.
I
than us.
probably, yeah,
Not by
honestly, I
much.
probably
Not by
could
much,
though.
but-
Like they were playing with fucking Flacco for the start of the year. Like, come on.
He's their quarterback.
Now they finally got some health at QB, the Milf Hunter. So we'll see how we go. I like this number actually, quite safe. Scotty, anything else, mate?
Yeah, pretty much what I was going on with my stat before. I just think Packers could start out lethargic. Jets could start out well. Even if they do, like say they're tied at the fourth quarter, maybe if they hold them to just a touchdown, still covers the line 7.5. So I'm pretty keen on it. The other thing I found, this burnt me last time. I found a referee stat.
Don't go again.
Don't even
Underdogs
start.
at 62
I
and
don't wanna hear it.
38 in games officiated by Cleet Bakeman since 2016, which is the best in the NFL for a referee
Bateman.
in
Like
unders.
Bakeman.
So if you like an underdog, make sure Cleet Bakeman is umpiring or refereeing your game, and then you're home.
Did you say this
Oh,
guy
it's
like
this guy.
throws?
Oh, this guy.
Who is
What was
it?
your one last time? He like the
Bill
bloke throws
Vinovich
no
possibly
Bill
goes
Vinovich.
hit the unders.
Bill
So,
Vinovich.
Yeah. Or what was it? Did he throw no penalties the last guy, or he does?
yeah, no, the other guy he
No,
wasn't
he
throwing.
didn't throw.
And he didn't do
Yeah.
any or something. You said he would, and he did none.
Yeah, he didn't do any.
Is it
and
too
then-
late to change my
Didn't
pick
matter.
now after that referee bull crap? I don't want to hear it anymore.
Was he the
the
dude who was
Bengals
crying
best.
last week? Remember the ref who was crying? What was that one where we blew the call with the Brady? I swear it was that game. There was a game and the ref like voice broke. I think it was Cleet.
Oh no, I think that
Announcing
actually, I
the
know who you're talking
penalty.
about. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it actually
Yeah,
is.
He's like, oh, penalty.
Scared of Brady. The Bengals backs. Yeah, I was looking at this one, but didn't go in the end. You've stuck with it.
Yeah, so I mean, in our first pod, I was very high on the Bengals. They haven't lived up to that whatsoever so far, but I think they're just starting to turn the corner. They got a good win over the Finns, and then they just lost to the Ravens, who have seen are playing really well at the moment. And then on the other side, the Saints have been pretty bad, and then it's just going to get worse because they have been absolutely smashed by injury. So on the offensive side, Winston, MT, Olave, Landry, all out again. And then on the defense side, they're missing Lattimore this week. So I think the Bengals can win by over a field goal.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really know before I did my picks that Olave and MT would be out. Probably would put the Bengals in as one of my picks.
Callaway and
I
Traquan
did, but,
Smith are going to be their main wide receivers.
Yeah,
With Andy Dalton feeding them.
that was the case last year. Old
Alvin.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Alvin will get fed, and look.
Yeah,
that's what I
which you'll
want.
see later on.
Yes. Yeah, that as well. And you also see something with the dimes, Tom, that'll make you laugh. But we'll get to the locks. Does that come up for you guys? There we go.
Yep.
I'm sticking with the Chargers. I haven't locked them yet, but they've been so good to me. They're getting into the locks now. So, look, as I said with them, they haven't been totally impressive, but they're at home, and the Broncos haven't been impressive whatsoever. So, just betting on them to put up some points at home and cover this line. Not easily, but I think they do. Just again, really, to be honest, probably by about a touchdown and. Just think the Broncos have been that bad, and Russ is, in the headlines now, just being a real hard teammate to deal. Did you see that thing with Richard Sherman saying that he couldn't even ring him direct?
Go through his manager.
He had to go through his
Yeah.
manager to ring one of his teammates, and what's
Sherman's a
that about?
bozo.
He is. He is. But it just shows how Russ. Yeah, I don't care about Rich Sherman.
Thinks
but
he's above.
I don't know. Look, it's probably overblown a bit, as most things are. But besides that, on the field, he just hasn't looked himself this year. And I said they're a bit of a value at a Super Bowl pick, and they couldn't look further from that. So
Yeah.
I'll go with the Chargers. They've been good to me. Maybe they can be good to me again. Tom,
Broncos have a couple injuries on defense as well now. They lost a few during that Colts game.
We said everyone. The
Absolute
lines are
lock.
done. Me and Bex are done with them. Scotty's done with them. Dan learned his lesson last week, and now you're jumping on board.
I will live stream cutting my dick off if this loses. This is one of the best locks of the year. Okay, so essentially,
Wait, the forfeit.
Two is-
I like it.
two is out, right? So we got Skylar Thompson in as QB.
Teddy as well.
Last week, yeah, because Teddy's out as well. So he had an average throw of 7.2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. So what's the Dolphins' main weapons has been speed in terms of with their wide receivers. They're not going to get anything here. Best stat, though, that I found all year is that the weather's going to be 30 degrees. There's going to be 70% humidity. Since 2008, games in Miami at 1 p.m. with the humidity above 65% are 63% for the under and 76% for the under when it's 43 points or higher. We've got 45.5 points here. This is one of the biggest locks that you are going to get all year. This weather is going to be cooked. Both of these offenses aren't really that great. I'm really keen here. I'm going to be betting up. I'm calling the bank tomorrow just to remortgage the house. I'm going to throw a few thousand on here because this is one of the best bets that you'll see all year. And I said I'll cut my dick off if it loses.
The amount of mortgages you're going to be cutting your dick off
Wow.
from your cardboard box on the side of the road next
from the
week.
man with the worst record as well, 4-11.
But to be fair, his one of the four was an absolute.
Take the hat off 1 week, huh? Shut it, Mr.
Jeez.
Renault.
Danny Rick, mate.
What's under there?
Danny Rick. Oh, he's not happy. He shouldn't have said anything back. Ravens, Dan, you going against our boys? You think we finally getting done?
Yeah, honestly, like I love the 4-1 record and all the hype around it. But if you actually look, who have we beaten? Honestly, no one. No one really playoff worthy.
Packers,
Maybe
kinda.
maybe the Packers. Yeah, come on. Like no one else has been really that good. I think the Ravens, and especially because it's on the road, Ravens are rubbish at home, but they're a lot better on the road. I think Lamar tears us up.
Back from
I
the
think
UK.
Danny Dimes just doesn't have as good a week as he has been. So I just think it's probably Oh, look, I'm happy to lose to this team. It is the Ravens. So, and I think the Ravens will put up points. And Scotty Stat, he had them going big. So I think this will be quite an easy line to cover for the boys.
Fair enough. The Jags, Scotty.
Yeah, it's quite simple.
interesting.
Deja vu. Scott bets against the Colts. 3-0 against the Colts. I'll go through
Go
the same
again?
thing. I bet it on the exact same game week 2.
Yeah.
Colts, they suck. Matty Ice, Ryan, rubbish. Probably the worst quarterback in the league. Last time they played him just in week 2, 24-0. Now they've lost probably arguably their best player, who's not Matty Ryan on offense, who doesn't rely on Matty Ryan. He's out. And you give me... they're underdogs somehow. I'll go through the same record. There we go. This is deja vu. This is exact same stats from week 2. Colts have lost 6 straight against the spread against the Jaguars and are 1-13 against the spread dating back to against Jacksonville, dating back to 2015. And they've been failing to cover the spread by 11 points per game. All right. After a straight up win, the Colts are 0.
You got that better?
0-5.
I'm with you, mate. I picked him.
2015. All right. It's just free money. They're just giving it out to you. Anytime you see me betting against the Colts, just get onto it. Okay. This team is rubbish. I don't know what the bookmakers are doing. This is literally I think they've got a 7% win rate or covering the spread rate against them since 2015. All right. The Jags just own them. They absolutely own them.
13,
the only thing
probably.
you can talk about is maybe they weren't good at the road last year. They've kind of quashed that. I think they've won 1 on the road, maybe 2. But yeah, it's just easy money. It's the
Scotty's
Colts.
coming
What do
out
you
with the
expect?
big guns. Let him
Man,
go.
we're with you.
Jags.
We're with you.
We were here week 2.
The man's just gone.
Nothing's
That's
changed. They've got-
content. I like it. I like it.
But we were here week 2, 24-0. What's changed?
He's still going.
Their best players out. I mean,
Play the music.
just
We
lock
got
in.
it. You don't like the Colts.
Cheers! Shut up!
I just have a passion of hating the Colts and just winning on the Colts. It's just like when I see them, I'm just like, there we go, easy pick.
Is that dating back to your Texans roots? Like, you didn't you used to go for them? Anyway, we'll move on.
No,
Bex, mate, you had the decent record. Not that it was great, but it was at least even, and you just blew it. So
Well, I went 6 last 2 weeks. It's
Yeah.
gone from
Realise
well
that.
to just
Go
horrible.
Scots,
I
then.
didn't realize it was that bad.
No, we're changing it this week though. So
All right.
the 49ers, they're the top defense in the league at the moment, conceding only 12 points per game. And then while the Falcons' offense has actually been okay lately, they've lent heavily on the run game, and it's gotten them some wins against the Browns and the Seahawks. But they're 2 of the absolute worst run defenses in the league. I think Seahawks have the most rushing yards conceded per game, and the Browns are the worst in terms of, I think, PFF rating or DVOA or one of them. So they've sort of been able to actually get some points on the board using the run game, but you just can't do that versus the 49ers. They're only conceding 71 rushing yards per game. And Mariota averaging 21 pass attempts the last 3 weeks just isn't going to get the job done against them. So I'm pretty confident the 49ers will get the job done here off the back of their great defense.
Yep. I looked at them as well because I had them last week and they did me well. But yeah, I like the pick as well. All right, let's get to some stuff we've actually been going right in. We'll start with the TDs. This is where you should have just left the room, Bex, like Tom did for the picks.
In my defense, he got injured.
They were cooking.
Just
We
leave
had
the
the
earth
multi
on.
on, and it fell short. But look,
Yeah,
he did
absolutely
the hammy
cockstained.
early.
He
Ramondre
did a
did have
hammy
a
in the
big
first
game,
quarter.
but
and
Ramondre
they
didn't actually end up
dominated.
But
scoring.
there was no
Yeah, but
rushing
Harris is the
touchdowns.
goal line back.
There was no rushing
Harris
touchdowns.
might have though. I didn't watch the game intently,
They
so maybe
ugly
they had a chance,
dominated the
but-
game.
Terrible pick.
Look, I'm 2-3 on the year, and they're both been Jalen Hurts, so I probably should have stuck to him. And I think I'd be 4-1. So anyway, maybe I start bet on him more because he's been really good. Gabe Davis, Tom, I think you've got him a couple of times and probably
had
got him
two.
twice, have you? He had two.
I've got it. I've had him twice, and then what Dan had Kelsey.
I think Dan's gone Kelsey. You'll see he's got him
Yeah.
again this week. He scored 4 touchdowns in one game. So look, I know Dan, he did that. You don't actually get any of those touchdowns this week though. But
Don't get the extra ones.
massive over under. And then Chubb again, pretty simple. He's been pretty good all year. So Scotty's been good. He's 4-1. Dan's 3-2 here. So, but Bex, yet to hit one.
It's not good. The props make up for it.
For this week, I'm going Darrell Henderson. I don't
I like that
totally
one.
love it, but as I said, I'm betting on them to turn their form around against the Panthers. I think they're a bottom 5 rush defense. Doesn't obviously mean guaranteed to score, but Rams need to try something different. Wherever they get down there, he's just looking for Cup, and to be honest, probably going to say the same. But I think Darrell's a big chance with just the full workworkload with Akers out. So going him. Tom's gone another left field one as he loves to do. The old Zay Jones.
Yeah, I reckon this is good value. The man's $4 odds. So, last week he played 80% of snaps. He had 8 targets. He's had 8 targets in 3 of the 4 games he's played. He had a TD in the game before he was out with injury. Marvin Jones is out, so he's going to be wide receiver 2. Can we just rewind and go back to old Scotty talking about the Jags and everything there? You can just replay that. I reckon $4 here is absolute money. So pretty keen to get this.
Yep. Nice. And then, as I said, Dan sticking with Kels, the big fella.
Don't change it, mate. This guy's Mr. Red Zone. I mean, look, he had 4 touchdowns for 25 yards. Do I say more? Like, seriously, the man did no work and then just ate at the goal line. Like, it's just easy money. Like, seriously, Travis Kelce's an absolute animal. I love this man.
He killed me on a multi that I had last leg for him to be over yards, and it probably teach me a lesson not to really go him for yards anymore because he was barely getting.
They spread it around actually.
Yeah, they do a lot.
Which
so
is good.
If anyone's just side note touching the Chiefs props, I honestly wouldn't be going too many blokes on yards because it's going to change week to week and it's really spread out. So, but for touchdowns, this man is always pretty good. Ramondre Scotty with Harris out, going back down this Patriots route.
Yeah, I think so with just the matchup as well. So obviously they're versing the Browns, who have the worst, I think, rush D. I think they've copped the 4th most rushing TDs or by running backs. I think every week, I looked at it every week, bar one, they've copped at least 2 rushing TDs. Obviously with Bex's man, old Harris, last week, he's out. I think the next one is like Pierre Strong. I think he's not barely things, but even Stevenson last week, 161 yards, 25 carries. They're just going to feed this man against a team that struggles on the run. And I think the other stat I found is 31.7% of all rushing plays against the Browns have resulted in a first down or 6 points for the offense. So very, very good chance. Very confident in this. So I've been cooking in this one. So get on it.
Nice. We'll trust you, mate. You've been going well. And Bex,
So
I feel like you're going to get on the board this week, to be honest.
Talk us through it.
The first point is if you have Mike Evans in fantasy, trade him. Trade him before this week because I'm about to curse this man. So over the last 3 seasons, Evans is 21, scored TDs in 21 games and only not scored TDs in 15 of them. So he has a record well above 50%. The Steelers are conceding the 2nd most receiving yards of anyone. And then that's with their only decent secondary player, Minkah Fitzpatrick, out this week. So it's going to be even worse. Evans is a red zone monster. Hopefully I get on the board. More likely he does a hammy.
In
It's
the
just the
first
way
play
it
of the
is.
game or something.
I
Yeah.
like him. I'm going to bet on him myself, but after
Yeah,
seeing
I
you
like
pick
that.
him,
I
I
don't
don't know. maybe Godwin. I think I saw TB wearing a shirt with Chris Godwin on it, so maybe it's a Godwin week.
He's feeling it.
So who knows?
No,
Anyway,
Russell Gage.
I feel like with a big point total there, he's due for one. So see how we go. The props we'll get to. Jeez, Q, the green. This is where the green lies, and even the boys in the red are not far off the green. So the props is where we're actually doing very well. We saw Najee play out in that game, as I said, and hoped that they'd be down early pretty quickly, and they were, and he just obviously was phased out of the game, understandably. So he didn't even get close to that line. Damian Pierce, I think, went pretty
Killed it.
good.
He was like
Killed
a
it.
beast. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
absolute beast. So
He's just
that
been
was an
awesome.
absolute L.
He's good.
Yeah, no.
He had that
definitely
run
was
where
a-
he
was
took
a
out
bit-
like 10 of them.
Yeah, he was
He
a
is
freak.
good, but similar thing. We thought they'd be down, but they just weren't.
Yeah.
So he was
No,
able
exactly.
to get
That
a lot
game
of
didn't play
carries.
out how I hoped.
So that sort of hurt it. Herbert wasn't too close. 230, I think I saw.
226 or something, which is the first time he hasn't covered all year, which is weird. But
And Eckler went bananas. So
yeah, he did. So that hurt. But rough. And same with Brees, I guess. Yeah.
Brees
Brees.
he had two receptions and 100 yards.
Yeah,
That's a weird one.
That's so steer.
Very weird one.
0.5.
Yeah.
Size of Bex.
And then Stafford was late. He threw this pick, didn't he? But he got there. in the
never
end.
in doubt. Never in doubt.
Yeah,
Stafford
so
loves a fourth quarter pick.
going well. Keep the perfect record here, Bex. Me and you. So what do we got this week? I flipped and flopped on this. I was going to go double Darryl. I was going to go the Darryl Henderson over yards as well, which I still think will probably hit in that game. But I was like, I'm too heavy on the Rams. I've picked him in my pick. I've picked the TD. I was like, we'll go to my man Eno. The man's getting the start. He's got the full workload here. And it was just a decision: do I go rush? I think it was 60. His lines up to for rushing yards, or do I go rushing and receiving? And I went for both. He's been pretty involved in the receiving game as well. So maybe if they split it up a bit, I can get his full yardage and hopefully around 100. Because I did look it up. Seattle are the worst rush defense by far. I think it's 170 rushing yards per game. I think this year. I think it's them, Detroit, and I think the Browns was the other one, Scotty, that you were looking at. They're so bad, it's not even funny. Like in comparison, the Niners, I think, are 70 compared to 170 for Seattle. So should be a high-scoring game. They'll feed him a lot as he's the only back there. So hopefully it goes over. This is what Garrett Wilson, isn't it, Tom?
It is, mate. This one, the matchup against Green Bay could be, interesting. I think the Green Bay defense hasn't been great. But now that Zach Wilson's been back, he's only had 6 targets and 4 targets. And then I reckon that potentially could go up. I reckon they'll probably try work him into the offense. But in terms of for Wilson, he's only been catching at like a 50% rate. So you'd have to be seeing around 9-10 targets, which I really just can't see against Green Bay. So pretty happy to take the under 4.5 here.
It's the type of targets he gets, right? There are a lot of big, deep, long targets.
They just go big with him. He's had targets of like 9 or 10, but he's only caught 4 or 5. So, but he goes for like mega yards. Definitely, I'm pretty happy to take the receptions here.
The Dimes, the Danny Dimes. I got the picture out there in the old famous run against.
We still scored on
took
that
a tumble.
drive.
Although, funnily enough, he probably ran 40 yards in that play. So you've got the under here.
Yeah, this is basing on my pick as well with the lock with the Ravens. So I think this game the Ravens sort of blow them out, and Dimes will just have to throw. So I just don't think. I think 40 is quite a big line actually. He had 30 against the Packers, so he attempted 10 and went for 30 yards. So against a pretty rubbish Packers defense. So I think adding another 10, I think this is pretty good value, especially because I think we'll be down quite early. Back to Scott's stat about them coming back from London, start off pretty shitty. So I'm happy to take the unders here. See the man tumble.
Does he have the ankle injury at the moment?
Yeah, that was also a part I
it.
thought too.
Yeah,
he's not fully healthy to run. So I don't know why it's gone up.
Less designed runs, maybe some scrambles.
That's the only thing where it collapses and he has to sort of play action and just run. But that's
where the Ravens are good. They should be able to deal with it. You'd think so.
Yeah, so
don't mind it. DK, Scotty.
Yeah,
So
I think I'm about him. Bit of a matchup things. So in all of his career games against the Cards, his number's gone under. The Cards, while their defense has been a bit dodgy at times, they've really focused on the wide receiver one from each team. So the last couple of weeks, I think Devontae only had 2 receptions, Cup only had 4, and AJ Brown 3. So they've been really focusing and doing a good job on the wide receiver ones. And then even in the last couple, so he's gone under this 3 out of 5 games so far, and then 16 of the last 25. So I just think the Cards might be able to keep him down. Even if he gets 4 to 5 and gets pretty close to it, I feel reckon they keep him under it.
Fair enough. And Kamara Beck's the only man that's suiting up to play.
Yep. So I talked about it before that the top 3 receivers, MT, Olave, Landry, all out. So they got to pass the ball to someone. And Andy Dalton loves a check down, as we saw for last week. He had 6 catches for 91 yards. So only need like a third of that this week, and you get the lineup.
No, that seems very good. I forgot to add it again, Deno, but you're back, mate. So
I'm back.
No intro,
After
but you are back, and we had to find the.
How'd you go last week, Dan?
That's enough out of you, Baldy.
Was it 0-3? 0-3?
Yeah, 0-3. Well, how do you any time's going? So shut.
I feel like this is rinse and repeat. I've seen Tom Brady that many times, Josh Allen that many times. Like,
they keep not getting there.
Exactly.
No, Josh Allen's actually been all right. Josh Allen's actually been one that has covered a couple of times for me. And this one's just quite simple.
What, like $1.20?
Yeah, $1.45. So it's not the worst. But yeah, this one's simple. Just we're hoping this will be a shootout. JA against Paddy. Just only needs the 2, and the man's been throwing it like nobody's business. Brady, surely against the rubbish Steelers, he gets 2. He didn't get 2 last week, which is a bit annoying. And then Kyler's my sneaky one. This one, I know they're the worst rushing defense, the Seahawks, but the amount of points both these teams average is ridiculous. So I feel like Kyler will throw. So I'm happy to take him, and I think it's $1.90. So that's my value on there to push it up to about $3.60. Really want to get one, so we're going to go with this, and hopefully we'll be back with some green ticks next week.
Yeah. That Seattle and Cardinals game's got a massive total as well.
Yeah.
I think so. All right. Bex, something you've actually not too bad at here.
I'm coming straight from the dome. I'm coming straight from the dome.
Yeah, so had the motorsport get up last week, and unfortunately Neesmith at $81 came second. So nearly got there, but not quite. But this week's looking good. So the Zozo didn't go too well, but we got the Otaegwe with a 6-shot lead with 1 round to go. So hopefully that can get up. I think he's teeing off in about 90 minutes from now, and he's only paying about $1.15 to get the job done from there. So that's looking good. He's first in approach, he's second in putting, and he's actually top 5 in putting for all 3 rounds so far. So that's looking good. I've also got Rosdar, who's tied for 10th in this, but a long way back. So hopefully Otaegwe gets the job done.
A long way back? That's a long way back.
Yeah.
Look at the leaderboard. It's like drops off so quick.
Yeah, it's a really tough course, this one. It's one of the famous ones.
The Otaegwe is just cooking and just doesn't care. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then also got the Live Golf. I got DJ, who's in 7th place, 5 back with a round to go. So not looking great, but he's still a chance.
That's doable, for him.
It's doable.
Yeah. Yep.
It's been a frustrating watch. He's played so well and just made nothing on the green. So
$67 pick though, Bex. Far out. It's good pick by you there.
Yeah, it's got the 0.1 unit on it.
Yeah, normally with the 57, I have a 0.2 unit on it. It was one of the last ones I added to the staking plan, so I just sort of squeezed him in there with a small unit. But a win's a win, so hopefully he gets up.
Oh, he's gone early.
It'd be a monumental breakdown.
Yes, surely.
You'd hope not. All right, and then lastly, we'll quickly finish off with the futures. I just literally got Sportsbet up here. I didn't really make a graphic, but guess what? We'll go player awards first. The MVP. I think Luke has been the favorite every year for like the last 3 years, and the problem is his team just isn't good enough. Like
it's a trap.
It's just a massive trap. If his team could finish top 3 in the seedings, he'd be a really good shout. But I think for me, Embiid is like this man. He bleeds for this award. Like you saw how badly he wanted last year.
Yeah,
Joker pipped him again. The Sixers look pretty good. They should be up there for seedings in the East, and I think Tom agrees with me. Anyone else got a sneaky one or someone else?
Not really. The only one I could think of is probably Zion if he stays healthy and the Pelicans come good. They need probably like a 48 win season or 50 win season for him to be all right. But if he stays healthy the whole year, that man can be an absolute animal. So
Yeah, and they need to be up there for the seedings.
that's the thing; they have to be
Yeah.
up there. So that's the only one I could think of. Not touching like the Tatums of the world, Celtics. Nah, yeah, no one really else.
No, I think maybe even like a small one on Kawhi. Probably is it just 'cause in case we see a big improvement in the Clippers, it might get voters more the thing as well. But then that's the thing with health. So you'd only have a small bit on it, but I think $23 is a bit overs. But
It's good odds, but then he doesn't play enough, does he?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he
it.
gets
Gets
They get
rested,
rest him,
probably
yeah.
for a
So it's
game.
probably not worth it. And I think Embiid is probably the pick. I think they'll just get voters fatigue with Joker, which is annoying. But I just
Same with
think-
Giannis. Like Giannis and Joker
Yeah.
are there, but they've bloody won. You know, they've won it a couple of times. So it's like,
Yeah, I think Joel's probably the pick at 650.
Yep, I think that's pretty obvious for me. We scroll down. Oh, where's Jimmy Butler? No, we won't go past there.
52. I know that.
Rookie of the year, Paolo. Again, I think that's pretty solid
Yeah.
for where I'm heading with that. Anyone have? I don't know a hell of a lot about a lot of guys, but I think Paolo to me looks.
The only other one
the
is
best bet?
probably Ivy from the Pistons. He's probably the only one that will get minutes pretty straight away. He was actually really, really solid. But other than that, I just think Paolo is just just an easy pick. I think at $3.
Yeah,
Just take
yeah,
that. Health
you have to
again
get
is
it.
always the thing. But
Correct. Yeah, we saw
Yeah.
with what's his name?
Chet.
Went down
Chet.
already. Yeah, he would have been up there. But yeah, 6-man. Old
this
Jay
is a
Poole
sickening one.
caught the.
Give me the Rats at $21. I didn't even know that. The
caught
hell?
the fist to the face. The Jordan Poole.
Yep.
Russ 21. What is he?
Yeah, that's
Is he come-
interesting.
Yeah. What
I
is he?
don't know.
That's trash.
That's
Yeah, I
rubbish.
don't know
He
about
sucks.
touching that. But the Bones is at 18. Give me the Bones.
Oh, what? Jesus.
Than the Sean.
The Sean.
This is such a dart, though, this one.
Of
I don't
course,
mind
it
the,
always is.
Terrible market.
I reckon the Wood. I don't mind him at $10. actually.
Christian Wood? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
He
I reckon he'd-
sucks.
No, he'd be right.
It's been a lot more random recently. Like it's always used to just be the bucket getter off the bench, but it's been a little bit different lately.
Like
but
the
it still
Jamal
mostly
Crawfords.
is. Still mostly is just the 20 point per game, 6 off the bench guy.
Mm.
I think Norman Powell can be that guy. He can catch hot, but can he keep the averages up across the season to get it? But he's a man that can catch hot, and I reckon it's a good role for him, the 6-man. But yeah, again, as you said, it's a freaking dart throw, that award. And then probably could say the same about this one. Probably more
Another
so the
dart
most
throw.
improved. Yeah, it's complete dart throw most years. But jeez, I don't know if anyone really has a tip they've
No.
looked at. No, that's
Maxi,
Great.
$11.
This is a great segment we got.
yeah, totally. Yeah, if you're watching still, and
This one, I'm
for
keen
ya.
on one. I'm keen on one here. I reckon Embiid at $19.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I reckon having Harden now, and I reckon the way that the offense will work, he's not going to have to be as dominant there. And he's got votes before, which I think is always a good thing. Usually a big man wins. I think with Smart winning last year that they're going to go back to a big man winning because there's no way Smart was Defensive Player of the Year. So I would say, yeah, and like, come on, you got Time Lord at $8. Like, I don't mind the Time Lord, but and like Mikal Bridges, Anthony Davis, Evan Mobley, like you got some junk above that. So either Embiid or even Simmons at $23.
Simmons, I was going to say. 23,
Simmons
yeah.
was awesome against KD the other day.
Giannis.
So I
Giannis,
reckon Giannis, sorry. So I reckon he's, that could be his specialty role. And if the Nets are all right, I reckon people could look at, giving him a few votes there. So I reckon Embiid or Simmons.
yeah.
I think I saw a thing. I don't know if Tom saw a similar thing on the Action Network about this award, and they were saying that I think it was more team-based thing. I think since 2008, I think every winner has been in the top 5 of their teams in the defense. So if you want to be looking into a team that would be top 5 in defense, you think 76ers now they get PJ Tucker from Miami, Harden and Maxi are handling the ball a bit more, which gives Embiid a bit more energy as well. They've got Fireball as well. It's pretty good in defense as well. So yeah, I don't mind that as well.
The chip, it's always a hard one. Like a lot depends on health and matchups and all that sort of.
I'm on the
jazz,
Bucks at $101 odds.
Yeah, the better promo, you get onto that if you aren't already. But Oh, look, if I had to probably throw a dart, it would be probably back
Brooklyn.
towards yeah. I was gonna say Warriors again, just because they're trustworthy, but obviously a bit of woes in the preseason.
I hate them.
Yeah, I know. I don't want them to, but they're already oiled. Like a lot of these teams still have to figure it out. Like the Clippers are back, but they got to show it. The Nets have got to show it. I guess the
Suns
Celtics
are a
got
joke.
there, but stuff going on in that franchise.
Mm.
Bucks and the Warriors are like the ones that have just been what they are for years, and they're just always solid. Down the page, maybe Philly are a bit of a longer odds type of thing if they can get it together. The Heat and the Nuggets probably are at a longer odds, the ones you'd touch. I wouldn't touch the Suns. I just don't think they have the DNA for it.
No way. No.
And then that's pretty much
Just
about
get
it.
exposed.
Anything else anyone wants to mention? Probably wrap it up there, to be honest, before we just keep scrolling in markets. But that's about it, really. Any wins lines or something you want to speak about?
United $1.95.
United at $1.95.
Against Newcastle. Fuck Newcastle.
We'll get back to the main screen. Yeah, that's about it, boys. We've been going for an hour. Time to set the lineups. Bit of pro clubs, boys.
Yes.
Hanging around.
FIFA's dead game.
Yeah, we don't watch the game anyway.
Two.
And the Gunners. Hopefully they get up tonight. And then Liverpool City. That'll be a big one as well.
Huge game.
Haaland hat-trick.
Yeah.
The way he's going.
We're going to get shredded.
Yeah, you would expect so. But I hope they get a result. So just take points off City.
True.
Don't see it happening, though. All right, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for joining us for another episode.
Catch
We'll
ya.
catch you next week. Similar time. Until then,
Thanks, everyone.
good luck.
See ya.